What's up, everybody? And we are in Tribeca Film Festival season 2022, starting it off this year with my first interview. I'm so excited for this one. Tribeca was fantastic 2021. Could not wait for Tribeca this season. And I'll be honest, last year, I watched a few films. I fell in love with a little bit of them, sometimes a little bit later in it. Tribeca's a little long, but it's amazing that the first film I checked out this year, I instantly fell in love with. And being able to talk to the star, the director, and writer of this film, bringing this film to life, it means the most. And I can't wait for them to share their story about this film, the film Land of Gold, which made its world premiere this year, Tribeca Film Festival 2022. I am here with Nardeep Khurmi, who is your director, writer, and star. And alongside of him is Caroline Valencia, who plays Elena in this film. Also the star, fantastic duo. Oh, the journey they take us on. But folks, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Doing well.
I want to start from the beginning. I want to start with the pitch. The AT&T Untold in collaboration with Tribeca, the Untold story. Just take me through the mindset of getting this pitch together. The moments where it was silent, the ones where you kind of, you probably had some regrets or whatever it may be, long nights, whatever it could be. But take me through all of those emotions up until this point.
Yeah. So, I'd been working on the script for about a year, and then we decided to apply to the AT&T Untold Stories program. And we had to have a budget and a pitch deck and, prior work samples, my short films and everything to submit to it. And we were very fortunate to get into the final 5, and we had to do this pitch in front of everybody. So it was a 10-minute pre-recorded pitch. I wrote a script. My producers were a part of that. Pallavi Sastry, Kirtan Sastry. And, my DP, Chris Lowe, and I, we went and shot stuff. And we put it up in front of like millions of people watching this live stream, watching this pitch, my first pitch for a feature film for $1 million in front of everybody. And we were pitching, like we had to wake up at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time because I'm in LA. And at 10 a.m., we found out we won $1 million to make this movie. And that was like 360 days ago that we won the $1 million. And I'll tell you, I mean, you can see it online. Like, I think it's on YouTube, the video of the live stream. You can see my reaction, the pure shock when we win. Yeah. And yeah, it was definitely a hold your breath moment. It was pretty amazing. But, we've had 360 days to make the film. I finished the film last week and it premieres, here at Tribeca. And it's been kind of nonstop. It's been a fun journey.
Yeah. That brings me to my second question for the two of you all. Now that you've had the world premiere, what are the emotions now? You're here, and still, this is still the start of the journey. Tribeca is a big film festival, but there's still a lot more of the world that needs to see this film. Starting off with you, Caroline, like, what's the emotions you're taking in seeing your film on the big screen at Tribeca?
Well, when I get there, I'm probably gonna be so shocked it's not even a process. Because this is like such a big thing, and I'm so excited, and it was like so quick that they finished this, and I hope that everyone loves it, and I hope that everyone learns like a good lesson from it, and it's just an amazing movie, and I'm really excited to see it, or see the Land of Gold and the Glitters.
Yes. I know a lot of folks think that wizards wear like tall pointy hats, but they're actually filmmakers. Like the way how they're able to put together scripts and just get the projects done, especially during the pandemic, is just a testament to just magic. So let that just be known, folks. You're looking for a wizard, they're a film director.
I am Gandalf. That is my nickname.
And Nardeep, I want to know, when did you know that Caroline was your Elena?
Pretty much right away. So, Kirtan Sastry, our casting director, cast a net across America, and we were auditioning kids everywhere. And we found Caroline out of Long Island. And her first audition, we were like, whoa, she's got something special. And we did the callback, and we're like, whoa, she's got something really special. And then we did a chemistry read. And this was all done via Zoom. So, Caroline and I, the first time we met in person was on set. So we're doing this chemistry read on Zoom. I'm having her improvise, do all this stuff, do very emotional work. Caroline can, right? Yeah. And once we finished that, we logged off, said goodbye, and it was the four producers, and it was the three producers and me. It was me, Kirtana Pallavi, and Simon Tofik, our third producer, and we were all silent for like a good like 2-3 minutes, and then Pallavi was like, "She's a star," and we knew, like it just was easy street. We knew. I mean, Caroline was 9 when we shot this film, and 9 when she auditioned. Right? She's now 10. She's old now, but you know, she was 9, and for her to hold onto character and to keep the emotional weight of what her experience, her character's experience was in an improv on a Zoom with a stranger is mind blowing. And that work, that audition, I actually rewrote scenes according to that improv that we did in that chemistry because it was so lovely. And I'm like, this is far better than anything I could write. And on set we had an acting coach, Kate Kugler, who worked closely with Caroline and myself. And what Caroline brings to this film, I'm going to embarrass you. What she brings to this film, I think, is something just remarkably unique. I'm excited for the world to see what she does because she just is magnanimous.
Yeah, Caroline, I want to give you a second to kind of reflect on those comments, because I was definitely going to rebuttal with the question of saying, what are you tapping into? Because this very organic chemistry that the two of you have, but this ball of fire of emotion that you carry this entire film is unlike anything I've seen in anything I've seen recently, for sure. But like, especially somebody so young in their career to just have it figured out right away. Like, I'll be honest, I paused the film and I had to decompress for a moment because I felt myself getting so attached to the character. And then with Corinne's like attachment to it, and kind of as a male looking in through that lens as well too, I just was having a moment. I was just like, wow, they're in for something. Tribeca audience, you're in for something. But yes, I want to know, like, I want to hear your reaction to what he had to say.
Well, obviously, I feel the same way about him because, like, I've never met anyone that could direct something, make the script, and also be the star in it. I mean, that's a lot of responsibility that gets put on to Nardeep, and he's honestly amazing to work with, and it was so easy to connect with him off and on set. He's such a nice director, and I would say he's like the nicest director I've ever met. He's amazing, and I've never met anyone that could do things like he does because he's just amazing.
Yeah. I'm hoping that this friendship lasts a very long, infinite time. I would love to see you two put something together again. Already.
I hope so. I don't know. Caroline's real cool, and I'm like an old dude, so I don't know. I might not be cool enough to hang with her.
Now, as much as this film is a journey between the two characters, I'm kind of trying to tote a little bit in the spoilers because I really want folks to come in here almost as blinded as I was. But there is a vast amount of, I'm not going to say responsibility, but you can tell that you two carry a responsibility in the message, in the delivery of these characters, the representation of people of color, and having these conversations about heritage and culture, and these bonding moments that just again felt very organic, to the point that it's going to start conversations, and that's what we all want, as viewers, as filmmakers, everybody. We want to start conversations to make inclusion and diversity a very prominent thing and not a rarity. But could you talk a little bit about some of the big factors, and this is questions for the two of you too, some of the big factors that you want the audience to take away from that in regards to culture?
Wow, in regards to culture. Caroline, you got something?
Okay. I want people to see other people in a nicer way. I hope people learn something good and kind from this movie because I was honestly touched by it. And it's honestly one of the saddest and most amazing scripts I've ever looked at. Um, I think people would absolutely love and learn something from it, like I did. Um, it's just like being in this film that touches people's hearts is literally amazing, and I can't put words to describe how um, amazed and absolutely honored to work on this movie with Nardeep. Um, I I hope people get touched by it and um, learn something by it. So yeah, I just hope people take it the right way.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on Caroline there. I think the idea is that, people are left with hope, that we can make our society and our world what we really want it to be, a land of gold for everybody. I've been talking about this film as an empathy machine, where
Yes.
I fundamentally believe, we're so divided right now, whether it's like politics or race or nationality or religion or whatever it is. There's so many dividing lines now that people are kind of putting themselves into. And I fundamentally believe that if you know someone, you can't hate them. You really can't. Like, if you have that
Yeah.
empathy, if you know their story and you have a conversation with them, you can't force your ignorance anymore. Like, you have to understand. You don't. There's no wanting to kill them or hate them or berate them. It's like, hey, that person wants the same things you do. They want happiness. They want safety. They want a better life. They want you know to pass that on to their family and to their children. And I think that's what ultimately I would love for people to get from this film, is that empathy, and knowing that, like, hey, you're on this journey with these characters that you may have never seen before on screen. Like, when have you ever seen a Punjabi trucker and like an undocumented 10-year-old going on a journey together?
Yeah.
Never. Um, and whatever your preconceived notions of these people are completely destroyed, because you realize, whoa, they're just like me. They're struggling with the same things I'm struggling with, in addition to everything else. So, if that builds empathy in terms of these characters and this thing, hopefully the audiences can take that into their personal life and start
Yeah.
thinking about their relationships and their preconceived notions of what they're experiencing. And maybe they can start having conversations that broaden their worldview and help them be, help us make a stronger community. Small kindnesses can
Yep.
go a long way. And that's what we sorely need in this world right now.
Yep. This is how we move society forward. And you're entirely right. You have a Punjabi American, you have a Mexican American, and in another film I checked out in J-Lo's documentary Halftime, she's a Latina American, and
Hmm.
the message across the board now is
Yeah.
human rights. This is
Yeah.
what everybody is fighting for, and everybody's using their platforms to be able to say, like, things have to change. And I relate to Kiran in the notion of like conditioning, walking out in fear, and when you see cops and how you have to just you feel tight and you feel tense, and seeing that and seeing how that's like normalized is not right. And
Yeah.
much like you said, Caroline, this is it's hopefully it starts to make people want to treat people better. And I, regardless of what people think about whatever the story is and whatever they take and don't take away from it, I can assure you that everyone's going to have a conversation. Like, it's so much heart and emotion in it, and both you all's performances, in the script for sure. Definitely kudos to you in making this work. So just for my final question, as we come up on the time, I just want to know, what can we I feel like I'm just kind of cutting the line a little bit here. Is there more story to be told in this story?
Oh,
I hope so. I
Me too.
really hope so.
Me too.
I hope so too. The It's like, how do we do this without spoiling anything, right?
No.
Um, the ending, that hope you're feeling, right? That Caroline just expressed, that hope you're feeling is exactly what I want you to feel. because that, if you can bring that into your real life, then you can make change. You can make change in your own community, and maybe you can make change in the larger community. That hope, take that into real life. And I know I'm being vague. Audience members, watch the
As
movie,
you should,
and you'll understand. You'll understand what I
mean. As you should. Well, folks, again, Atlanta Gold, again, this year making its world premiere at Tribeca Film Festival. One of the first films I checked out this year, the first film I fell in love with this year, is a message. It's a journey. It's an adventure. Has a lot of heart. A lot of emotional. An emotional roller coaster. Yeah, there's going to be moments of hope. There's going to be moments where you may feel hopeless. There will be moments I'll admit that you may feel a little triggered and whatnot. But I hope that with all of that, it starts the conversation as we look to move society and humanity forward. But I say, and I hope that the two of you do get back together, put the band back together again. This is a fantastic film. Way to knock it out the first time. Caroline and Nardeep, fantastic job. And I just want to give kudos to some of the other folks involved with this film as well too. The cinematography was absolutely something special. The cockpit scenes inside the truck, inside of the grass, and kind of showing like the horizon and everything. Like,
yep, that's Christopher Lowe, our cinematographer. I went to college with him. We've known each other for like 17 years. He is a beast. This is his first feature, Chris Lowe. So I'm excited for the world to see his work, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because what he did was incredible, especially for the budget that we had. Like, yeah, it's stunning.
Yeah. So, but yeah, once the world gets to see a Tribeca, I hope we get to talk again. I will be keeping an eye out on your social medias. Hopefully you do some lives or a little bit of footage and video to kind of see how your emotions are, to seeing the audience emotions and everything. But more or less, I thank you so much for this opportunity to talk to you, and I cannot wait for the world to see it. So
thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in for this interview. We'll see you back for more coverage from Tribeca Film Festival 2022. Thank you for tuning in.